It's your boy Lex. I don't know what to think, but here we are in this ring. It seems so far from the truth, and I go hide in the booth. Can you feel the movement on spin? Can you see the curvature bend? Do you see when they spray the skies and they make up lies and do it again? Man, who's really in charge? How long has the lie been hidden? How long has time been broken? Cause every season is different. They tell you climate is changing. They say the global is warming. They think you'll need a vaccine, otherwise you'll die without warning. God put the stars, the sun, and the moon in the same sky. God put the devil on earth and let us reside at the same time. Maybe cause angels betrayed God all over a slut lust. Then there was a reset, some of us call it a mud flood. Firmament permanently fixed to a plane, perfectly placed, impervious escape for the human race. This is God's work, so ask God first every day. And it's not curved, it is straight. It is not a planet, it's a plate. This the other side of Hell's Gate.
What is up, my man?
Yo.
I don't know why it keeps not switching to the correct dynamic scene. Here, we'll have to fix that. I don't know what it's doing. But anyway, here we are, man. It's a great day to be alive. It is Flat Earth Day.
What?
And we have our friend Templar here to talk about it.
What are you talking about? Explain to me. I'm excited about it, but I don't know what's going on.
I don't want to explain it to you. I want Templar to explain it to you. Because for once, we have someone else who's going to talk about Flat Earth instead of me just flapping my gums the whole time.
Mm-hmm. I'm excited.
So, sorry, I'm reposting the thing because Twitter sucks penises and doesn't let you do much.
Everything's great going on. Everything going on over there is excellent. Up to par.
I wish it were. I really do, because it used to be kind of cool. But it's not so much anymore. But anyway, I digress.
What is cool?
Fucking Phone Booth Podcast.
Podcast.substack.com.
Do it. Go there where you've got our podcast, all our live streams, bonus content, bunch of our friends' podcasts across there. You can see click, go at all of them. We also have our merch store, so go check it out. This is the shirt right here, Grow or Die, that I believe I will be wearing to Bohemian Grove in 1 month from tomorrow? Today?
Oh my!
From today. 1 month from today
exactly
is Bohemian Grove. So, yeah. Here we are, man. It's going to be fucking crazy. But anyway, if you want to help us out, go buy some. Actually, fuck that. Help yourself out. Right. These are great conversation starters. Go there. Wear these shirts. We make like $2 off each one.
And
Big
they're
deal.
not
Whatever.
like cheapy, crappy shirts either. They're nice.
Your boy Ted wouldn't do you like that. I wouldn't do you like that. You know, I wouldn't. Honestly, I would never sell something that I wouldn't wear. So I've ordered not every design, but every type of shirt that we print. I've ordered it for myself first, just like Allie told me to. Make sure that I'm comfortable with it, and that's what I did, and everyone's been great. So yeah, we got a bunch of stuff there. If you're a nudist and you don't wear shirts, we also have mugs for you. So if you like to be in the buff all the time, go get them. I gotta order this Australia shirt. I haven't yet. So yeah, go check that out. And where else do we go, Bill? Tell me more.
CanAmBullion.com for all your gold, silver, and platinum needs. Because
this man go.
In this time and age, you need something to hedge against inflation, okay? I am not a financial advisor, neither is Ted. However, I do carry a lot of silver because times are rough. So
I got some. I got some. Ooh, I got one of these actually. That's nice. With my great grandpa's head on it. Yeah. So go check that out. If you have large orders, talk to Mike. He'll help you out. He's an awesome dude. He's a conspiracy theorist. He's open minded. Cool dude. Go there. Check it out. So now I'm very happy that someone else is coming to talk about Flat Earth instead of just me. So what's up with our boy Templar? What up?
All right.
He gets an applause.
Thank you. You're too kind. Thank you very much.
Oh, God, I love this dude. What's going on, man? So what the hell? Like Blue asked in the comments, how did she not know it's Flat Earth Day? And Bill was asking before. Tell us, why is today Flat Earth Day?
Yes. Enlighten us.
Because today is the day that proves that the Earth is not a globe. So therefore, it must be Flat Earth Day. That's right. And not a lot of people know about it. Even when you go search on Google, unless you know what you're searching for, Google is very tricky with what it sends back. It'd be like, oh, you want to know about like the 3 days of darkness and shit? And it just like piles that on. And you're like, no, here. And you got to look up July 8th for the Impossible Day of Light.
Hold on. I'm so terrible. I fucking always forget to do this, but since you're my boy, I feel comfortable cutting you off to do it. At 30 minutes, we're going to cut the feed on Twitter. If you want to watch the rest live, go over to the Substack. It's very easy. I will put the link in the comments right now. All you got to do is click it. It says subscribe. You don't even have to subscribe. You can view without subscribing. If you want to subscribe, you can even make up a fake email. It doesn't matter. Just go there. It's free.
I know
Just
it's
go.
so hard to like get off Twitter for 5 seconds, but just do it. Open up your browser.
Try. Help a brother out.
That's right. Plus, you're gonna, while you're there, you know, when you're done, you can go and browse like other stuff, dude. There's whole catalogs of work, right? So there's all kinds of cool shit. So while you're there, it's like, it's worth snooping around because then you know what to come back for.
He's right.
Exactamente.
He's right.
Exactamente. Right. Yes, I am posting it right now in the comments on Twitter X. Where to go follow for free, or if you want to pay, there's paid, there's bonus content. You get all episodes early, all that fun stuff. Okay, so look up July 8th. Here we are.
Yes.
And why?
So July 8th is called the Impossible Day of Sunlight. And the reason it's so impossible is because, so at this morning, technically it's supposed to be 7:45 Central Standard Time, which made it like 8:45 or something like that, or 6:45 Eastern. 99% of the whole population of the globe is under sunlight of some sort. Some are in lighter states, but nothing's past twilight. Now, the reason that's a problem, and that I'm going to show you, is because they say we live on a globe, that we live on a sphere. Okay? So lighting on a sphere is already an issue, right? So there's two ways here, and I brought some things. Can I share my screen? Is it all right if I pull something
absolutely.
up, buddy? All right.
Yes, sir.
Share this.
Throw it on up.
So are we sure that it's not reflecting off the moon much more than it normally is? Therefore, it's just, lighting up the entire big ball?
I love you, Bill. I don't say that to a lot of men easily, but I fucking love you. I love how you can play the dummy so easily.
I don't know.
All right, here we go. Yep. Oh, this is so good. Yes, here we go. I'll put it full screen.
Okay, give me a second to get to what I need. I need to be right here. All right.
See,
that was a nice Mud Fossil University drop right there. I like that.
Yeah, you like that?
I did.
All right. So what you're seeing right here, this is the sunlight map, right? This is everybody who's seeing sunlight at the exact same time this morning, right? And the reason they show you, like, they use this map for a purpose, because they can't use a globe at all, okay? So this is just a propaganda map. This just gets in your head and you like see it and it seems to ring all the bells, so you don't ask any questions and you move right along. But the problem is when you scrutinize it and you say, wait a minute, then it really starts falling apart, because we're going to get into this, and I got some cool visuals for you guys.
Awesome. Sputnik.
Was that a satellite?
Yeah. Sputnik.
The OG.
Okay. So on a globe, the most you're gonna get is 50% light. Okay,
and the reason, to me, even that's questionable. Honestly, that's questionable. But yes, I'll give you that. Okay.
Right, and I agree with you. I agree with you that that's questionable. But if we look right over here, I brought some science right here. All right, so there's two types of rays, right? There's the ones that are further away and there's the ones that are closer to the source, right? So if the light source is further away, that's when you're going to get the 50% max sunlight, right? Because the parallel rays are going to come out. And the problem is, though, since they come out and they go straight, there's no bending. So once you get to that equator, right, that is going to be the last place of light. Everything beyond is going to be in the darkness because it's beyond the light, right? The light's not bending like water and the shit that they try to throw on you. Although, funny enough, just like the water, they want to say that the light curves.
Light bend. Yeah.
Oh, of course.
Now, when the sunlight is closer, right? When the source is closer, that's when you get the divergent rays, right? So if this is whatever I'm illuminating and I bring this light source into here, my light is going to be a lot more focused in certain areas, but I'm going to get less than 50% of light, okay? So now the reason that that's important, again, because it speaks to the fact that you can never get past 50% of light. And as a matter of fact, if you look at, here, let me get back. Oh, all right. I thought I had it over here. My bad.
My dog ate my homework.
Yeah. All right, here, let me show you this. So this is how they break it down. Okay, how many people experience light? So 6,440.3 million.
Come
get
on, son.
83% sunlight, and then there's the civil twilight for 548 million. Then you got 443.1 under nautical sunlight. You know what I mean? You just keep looking down, and the numbers keep stacking. And all that comes up to 99%, right?
I just want to go out on a limb and say there's not that many people in the world to begin with. But yes, continue. Sorry.
Right. Well, I don't
How do
think
you
there
know,
are either.
Ted?
But
I don't know. That's why I said think, bro.
this one's on the other side, huh? The way it comes up in this thing is on. Okay. So
Okay.
the easiest way to track this is with the time zones, right?
I love those time zones, by the way. Let's take 1 second to reflect on those fucking time zones and look how they jump around.
Yeah.
And why would that happen on a ball? They should be fucking perfect. Like, I get people are going to be like, they jump because of, like, if it divides through, they have to go through uninhabited areas. What about look in number one, almost in the center, the left number one, up towards the top? Why, whatever island that is, does it jump around that? Why does it do that?
Because this is all just manipulation, right? This is all fairy tales. It's all fairy tales. As a matter of fact, when you look at it this way, it looks a little bit more crazy, right? Like it's really something that you're supposed to look at that, and it's supposed to confuse you. You're supposed to look at that and think, "Wow, somebody's really, really smart. Guess they know what the fuck they're talking
It doesn't
about."
make
Cool.
any sense. Look at the ones that are diagonal towards the right and everything like that.
Everything,
Like,
right?
it
Look
doesn't
at
make
Canada.
any-
Hold on, go back to that real quick.
Yeah.
Yep.
Look at Canada, how that jumps down, and it looks like fucking the state of Utah or whatever.
Yeah, that's
Like how it just jumps down. Perfect fucking 90-degree angle. Another perfect fucking 90-degree angle straight down. But then there's that little blip in it. They're like, we're not going along with it. You see that little blip?
yeah.
Tiny little triangle cut. Someone stood their ground there. They were like, hell no. We ain't going wrong with it, man. Anyway, sorry, go ahead.
So, interestingly enough, also, if you notice this almost makes like a U shape, right?
Yes.
You see it? The way they're warping it?
Yeah.
So if you take this and you put it into like fucking Photoshop or whatever, and you just you make this a circle, and you're gonna see the flat Earth map, and you're gonna see the simple layout. You know what I mean? That's all
Yeah.
they did. Dude. They took the circle and then they warped it and they essentially made it like bullhorns. And then you look at it and you see everything, and you're like, oh,
Come
that
on,
looks
Templar.
about right.
What if all the tectonic plates moved and they all just moved to one side of the globe for this particular day, dude?
Which
that
is
be a
exactly
possibility?
what they want you to believe. Yes, that's the sales
Okay,
pitch.
cool. All right.
Yeah. The sales pitch is the perfect concoction of things meticulously lining up and coincidences that,
Yeah.
are just improbable. Yeah, it's improbable. They're like, oh, there's a statistical chance. Yeah, like if you run anything long enough, you're going to be able to come up with a number, but is it a realistic number? Is it probable? In most of these instances, it isn't. But people are satisfied if you give them a number or an image, you know? And they seem to understand this very, very well. And they seem to understand that we react very well to visual media. You
Yeah.
know, like if you'll see something and then, you know, now these days they tell you, you know, exactly what you're seeing is something completely different. And people be like, oh, yeah, makes sense. Sounds about right.
Oh god, they're fucking retarded.
So
It's bad.
this right here is the flat Earth with the time zones. Okay, so there's your skittle layout,
Mm-hmm.
and this is how everything looks on a flat Earth. This looks a lot more rhythmic to me.
Right,
This
yeah,
looks a lot
more
more
uniform.
like, yeah, like there's a system here, right? There's a flow. It's not like your kid got a hold of the crayons and just took it to the wall, which
It
is
almost looks like a vortex.
Yes.
it
almost.
does, which would make sense, right? Because
Yeah.
the sun is constantly,
Yeah.
going around this thing. But so.
I've never seen that
Oh,
graphic.
neither have I. That's wild.
Never seen that?
No.
Nope.
So here, let me pull this off for a second. How do I close this out? Good on the.
I can take you off.
Am I off? Okay. So a lot of what they do to like trick people, it's all like watch the left hand and don't pay attention to the right hand, right? So when you go and you look at like the old alchemist books and stuff, people will see and they'll just assume like they're fucking around with a globe. But they're not, right? There is the celestial sphere that they usually have around the outside. And they have that so they can chart the constellations as they go around. But when people see that, you know, in like literature in a book, or they just assume, you know, oh, look, they had a globe back in 15 whatever. Well, they might have, but more than likely what you're looking, I can't think of the name for it, but it's the celestial sphere, and it was used for, you know, navigation and many, many, many things.
Yep.
Yep.
You know what's crazy that you just made me think of that I've never fucking thought of before when we talk about how we see constellations and stars from this place and that place is have you ever seen those like art installations where if you look at one angle it just looks like a bunch of shit hanging and dangling,
yes.
but
And
then
then
you
you
go
get-
from another angle and it's a
are awesome.
perfect fucking picture. I
Those
love
are
those.
Awesome.
Yes.
What if that's how constellations are to us? Like we're looking, and I know people are like, "Oh, you can see them," but we're all on the same plane here, looking at them
Right.
from as they're going around. Like that's crazy. Anyway, sorry,
Yeah,
I never thought that.
interesting.
I just made me think of it.
Yeah, and that's where a lot of everything hides, right? Like declination and stuff. So what they
Yes.
want you to believe is, so really, you live on a flat plane and you have a celestial sphere that is cycling around it, okay? And on the outside of that celestial sphere, you have the wandering stars, right? Planet means wandering star,
Yes.
right? So you have stars and you got the wandering stars. And then they assigned personalities to the wandering stars that correlate with gods or, you know, fallen. But, you know, we don't have to get off track.
Yeah, gotcha, man.
But what they do is they invert everything, right? The Patriot Act's not patriotic, et cetera, et cetera. And they did the same thing with space, right? So they take the celestial spheres tilt and they say, no, 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 no. You revolve around the sun, and it's actually the Earth that's tilted because you're in relation to it. It is not in relation to you.
At
Right?
what degree
And
is
so-
the Earth tilted at? Also,
24.5 degrees, which then when you break down it into decimals gets you over to the 66.6. So
Yeah.
that's always fun,
mm-hmm.
you know? But those numbers like stay in because we were a 60 base system. And this is all Babylonian nonsense. You know, I could show you how you can take a zodiac and you can just apply the Fibonacci sequences clockwise, right? If you start with Cancer to the left and you go clockwise and you just fill in the Fibonacci sequence and you reduce those numbers and it'll assign you the ruling planet of each thing. And then it'll tell you the correct interact because it is a self structuring bit of information. You know what I mean? Like that's how all that Babylonian shit worked and the Egyptian shit, you know, like that's
I find it fascinating how they can nail this to the day, right? They already have this mapped out for years in advance. Even though we're flying through space at 66,000 miles an hour, nothing's ever gonna hit us, right? Nothing's gonna knock us off course. Nothing's gonna rematch it by a day. You know what I mean? It's just wild to me. The moon phases are always spot on. Everything's spot on for that we're sitting still.
An explosion.
Here, let me get the pictures again. Does it let me? Like, can I get that back?
Let me get the
Check this
pictures
out.
again,
Let
dog.
me hold a picture.
There you go.
Is this it?
Oh.
Hold on. Let's see. This one? Can you see this?
Mm-hmm.
Sunlight Friday morning.
Okay. Can you see that? Okay, so that's where I brought a video so you can kind of see how the media kind of plays this. All right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then I want to show you something.
Also, don't forget to service your AC.
That's right.
I was gonna say something.
Dude, I came home. Actually, I didn't even come home. Yesterday, I was at work. I was getting ready to leave, and my wife texted me and said, I came home and the AC is off. I'm like, fuck. And then she was like, oh, it came back on. I bet it's the float switch. And it was. And that means I mention it too much. I know, exactly. She knew what it was, and it was. And I blew out the drain line, and we're all good. AC's working.
bless her.
Cat.
God bless.
I was like, well, anyway. So here's this video. Let's watch it.
The authority weather.
This guy with the stick up his ass.
He's the authority on weather, bro. All right.
We can't hear it. It's muted or low.
I have it unmuted.
Oh,
We have no audio.
Oh, so depends how you're sharing. When you share, you have to click share audio also, and it only works on some things. Fuck.
I gotcha. That's all right. So you can see that even with their globe, they can't show it off, right? They can put a number in front of you, and they can show the globe, which the globe is already showing you all these continents, and then so where the fuck are the other continents? They're on the opposite side of the globe. Well, if you can only get 50% of sunlight, checkmate.
Why aren't they showing? That's very interesting. Why aren't they showing an example of this? Oh, and Blue said you should post that right there.
Right on.
Because I've never seen it, and she's clearly never seen it, so that'd be great.
So, to answer your thing, Ted, by the way, you were saying about it seems like there's a system or a season or whatever, which was what I was going to point to you, is that it's exactly that. There's a rhythm to all of this space shit, right? Mm-hmm. And it coincides with all the seasons, all the solstices, all the feasts, you know what I mean? And there's systems in place, right? So, like, during each part of the year, this is the first light. So here, see right here, this is where Challenger, Columbia, Apollo 1, Aries, all take off here. And why is that? Because this is symbolic. This is the spring solstice. This is when the first sunlight hits the north, right? That's what that is. So they're sending things out and capturing at this new enlightenment, at this new birth, as they capture the first new light of the spring of the year. And that's why all of that ritual magic starts there. That's what all the spaceships
wait, you're saying it's a cult thing and it's not just a science thing, or?
Yeah, it is a cult thing. Because so, like, I'll give you an example. If you want everything above you to be the same way it is today, right now, you would have to wait 19 years, okay? In 19 years, you could take a picture of the sky and compare it to the one that you had before, and everything's where it's supposed to be, okay? So that's why from Apollo 1 and to Apollo 2 and to Apollo 3, they were using metonic cycles. On 1, they went 2 years short because they had the celestial stuff that they needed. They didn't need to wait the other 2 years. Does that make sense? Like, the alignment was there.
Yeah.
So they're very, very aware of this stuff. This is how they work off of it. They work off the planets in the season.
Yeah, and the fact that we're geocentric and we're not moving.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what they
And-
work off of.
and
That's not what they tell us.
If if you get to just the basic laws of geometry, light, etc., right? It's not even negotiable that light can't take over more than half the sphere. It doesn't matter. You can look anywhere. It can't be done because the light doesn't bend. But that's exactly what they want you to believe. And that's, again, why they don't show the globe when they're showing that crap, because you see the continents, but then there's so many that are on the opposite side. So it's like, if it's beyond the 50% range, it's impossible for them to have sunlight. Thus, the model that they're showing you cannot be factual. You know what I mean? It's self-evident.
What are they
Have
saying
you-
that the difference is, like, right now? Is it an atmospheric thing? What is it causing it to be able to wrap around most of the globe?
So
Well,
the way
it can't be atmospheric though because it's the same day every year, right?
right,
so
right,
it's
yeah,
like-
it's
is it-
the
but,
sun's positioning in the sky, right?
Okay.
And in relation to Earth, and then they're saying in relation to where populations live, right? So they're saying
Yeah.
it so happens to line up kind of like an eclipse or whatever, right? That enough of the land masses that have all the people living on it just happen to be facing the same way as the sun. But as we know, right, you can't be on a globe and have, because fucking China's supposed to be on the opposite side. The opposite side
Yeah.
of us. So how the fuck are they getting like high ends of sunlight right now? It can't be. It is an impossibility, right? It's,
Yeah.
you tell that to
Well,
a child.
on
it
a
just
globe,
can't
yes.
be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, on a globe. So the next point is, so how do
Hold on,
How
I
we
wanted
doing
to
on
ask a
time?
question real quick. Oh, we're great,
Sure.
but I just wanted to ask real quick. So, have you ever been in a place where there's giant mountains around in the morning and the sun's coming up? Have you
Yes.
seen how you can see the sky is lighting up, but you're still in darkness because you're blocked from the sun that's coming, right?
sun? Correct.
If we lived on a ball, wouldn't people on the other side of that curve see the sky lit up, but it would be dark where they were?
Mhm.
Yep.
Why does that never happen? It
Because
happens
it's a
in
bull-
reality when we see it with something obstructing, but it doesn't happen for half the population on each side of the globe every day, but in reverse on one side. Like, it's insane. It's insane. Anyway.
So I actually got to experience what you're talking about, like to firsthand. I went to school in Provo, Utah, so where Charlie Kirk got killed. Like I was in and I was in Provo for
Utah's
probably
actually
3 years.
beautiful.
It is.
It
There's a
is.
lot of weird
It
shit
is.
there, but Utah's beautiful, man.
Mhm.
And Mount
Sure is.
Timpanogos was my view. So every morning I woke up and the first thing I saw was Mount Timpanogos, and then like you could look off in the Spanish Fork, right? So
Yep.
what you're talking about, the sun coming up over the mountains, like it's ingrained in me. I used to
Yeah.
stare at the fucking sun, like yeah, it makes total sense because their model is crap. But what I wanted to say, because I know we're about to jump over to the other side, is
Yeah.
I wanted to talk a little bit and give people an understanding of where we're going with this next part. Because in order for all of this shit to happen, right? In order for them to sell us what they're selling us, it had to start somewhere.
Mhm.
And I wanted to point out that Sputnik, okay, this was the psyop that had started it all, okay?
Yes.
Like on October 5th, 1957, people woke up from, their normal night, and in the morning the newspaper reads Russ Moon circles the earth, right? And then they just like start hitting people with fear porn, right? And that there's a satellite and the Russians launched it, and now maybe that means that they could put a nuke in it, and everyone needs to be
Right.
really scared. And then they got these man on the street interviews going on, where they're like, "Are you
Yeah.
afraid? Are you afraid?" And America kind of got a black eye in that as well, because we were supposed to be neck and neck with the superpowers, right? And for Russia to be able to, hit us blindly like that was a security risk. Now, here's something I want you to know. See this sphere here right on Sputnik?
I was gonna say it's awesome that they made it a sphere, but also, yes, go ahead.
Yep.
Yes.
So that sphere is 23 inches in diameter. Okay? Can you see both my hands? My hands are probably spread farther than the circumference and the radius of Sputnik.
So it's tiny, yeah.
Yep. And then those little crackhead antennas, those are maybe like 4 feet, long going out of it. Now, here's the deal. When you look, the main thing that kicked off everything was the Sputnik panic. It was the way that they had everybody reacting to Sputnik. And what they had is they had people believing that they were seeing that, which at its lowest altitude was supposed to be 138 miles up in the air, and at its highest altitude, 583 miles. Well, that's barely 2 feet. Right? I don't give a fuck how polished it is. You're not going to see it 138 miles up. You're not going to see it 100 miles up, let alone 500 miles up. But the interesting part is, well, what did people see? Well, interestingly enough, the engineer knew that
Don't tell them what they saw yet. Cutting it, going to the Substack. Links in the comments. Everybody on Twitter, go there if you want to hear what they actually saw. Peace. Hey. Stop. Okay, go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to break your flow. Fuck, I'm so interested.
Yeah, no. You're good. Let me put this thing. So
what did they actually see? Yes.
So what they actually saw was thruster, I believe it was R7. Okay, so the engineer knew that nobody was ever going to be able to see Sputnik. Okay, and we're going to get around to more of that, but they needed something to show, right? Because otherwise, not to mention, first off, nobody's at the launch, right? Nobody really saw the launch, right? The Russians did it in the middle of the night, allegedly, right? So, but nobody really saw the launch, and nobody really saw Sputnik ever, which we're going to get to. Okay, but allegedly, what they saw was as the rocket was taking off, right? They took thruster R7 and they wrapped it in this highly reflective material, and then they put reflective corners on it. Okay,
Damn.
So when the rocket takes off and then it starts making its parabolic arch, so it drops down, then what they see is thruster R6 or R7 falling from the sky, but it looks, right? The illusion, if you're far away, it looks like it's going into orbit. So people see this big flashy thing. It's not as high up as they think it is, nothing like that. But it's all an illusion, right? And then, people wake up in the morning, they're all fucking panicked, right? And there's this thing, and space. This is the real invention of space. Space is a thing now. Before this moment, everything was like internal, right? You had religion. It was down here. It was in here. But this kicks off space. And you know what space is? Space is pure fucking imagination. Anything can happen out there, folks. I can bullshit you about anything out there. And you can't dispute me because you can't see it. But I can respect the authority, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's exactly what they fucking tell you, man.
So then the media does its part, and it starts playing like the New York Times alone was doing 11 pieces. And this is in a time where it's written press. So they have extra editions, an extra edition, an extra edition, right? And radio's playing all this stuff, and television is brand new. And, people are just glued to it. And they're just throwing all this nonsense out. And now the interesting thing is Sputnik, that sphere, okay, 60% of that center mass is a big ass lithium battery. Okay? And then the rest of the roughly,
Right, yeah.
And the rest
Which now
of the
they're
roughly
like
20% on each side is vacuum tubes and switches and relays and all the stuff for Sputnik to operate, right?
Allegedly.
Allegedly, that's right. And the battery on Sputnik put out a 1 watt beep. Okay, so it's called the manipulator. And this is what sold the game, dude. This is what fucked people up because it's like Swordfish, right? Do you remember Swordfish? At the end, everybody sees him get into like the helicopter, and then like it gets all shot down and blown up, and and then they pull him off. They're like, oh yeah, he's dead, and then you see him on the boat with like Halle Berry and shit,
Yeah.
and it's all like,
I know.
what the eyes see, the brains believe, right? Well, that's the same thing they did with you with Sputnik. Because that manipulator set off a pulse. Okay, so every second, as Sputnik was rotating the Earth, it was setting off a beep, 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 and people were like fucking engrossed in this, right? Because the fear porn, everything. So if you were a man, you were out on your lawn or your backyard with your kid and your neighbors, and you guys were looking up in the sky, and you were waiting for Sputnik. You guys had your ham radios and the radios ready, and
Santa
everybody was
tracker.
waiting to listening to the beep. Yeah, and the media, they're doing things. It's going over Jerusalem right now, and it'll be over this, and in 45 minutes it's going to be here. And I mean, people are just fucking glued because space is brand new, and this is all fascinating, right? And while this is just starting, now they're starting to put shit in people's heads. Well, what do you think now, And you think we can go to the moon? And people are like, yeah,
they're creating the environment now.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Playing field.
then what happens because of all of this, and the U.S. gets caught with its pants down, you have the creation of NASA immediately. You have the creation of ARPA, which is later turned into DARPA. And
So
then
hold on,
you
let me
have-
ask you real quick. Do you really think, I'm honestly, I've gone back and forth about this. Do you really think that Russia got one up on us, or do you think
Yes.
that this was a plan staged out? Russia's going to do this, then America's going to do this.
You're tracking. Yes. Actually, in the beginning, I don't think America. Well, I think America knew that it was bullshit, right? But we went
But
with it.
publicly, you had to
Yeah.
one up them at that point.
Right. And because Russia, like we knew Russia was full of shit and that they were aiming for all this, that's why we were going. That's what catalyzed the space race, right? First man to the moon, winner takes all. So it's all about propping up the country and hyping up.
In my opinion,
the
they would
team.
all have to be in on it. They'd all have to be in on it because
at some point they become in on it 100%.
because I mean Russia was like, oh yeah, they did in fact beat us to the moon. Bah, 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 bah.
Yep.
Like it's like, but that it can't fucking happen.
That you lied about
Right.
your satellite.
Right.
So you know they're
exactly.
lying
So-
about landing on the moon.
So the U.S. creates NASA almost like instantaneously. Poof.
Yeah.
NASA comes in, which automatically.
What year
gets
was
this-
Sputnik? What year was Sputnik?
1957. October 1957. October
58, NASA was started.
Yep.
Holy
Yeah,
shit, okay.
And right at the beginning of the year, because we're talking October, and then
3 months at most.
yeah, then Eisenhower puts out
they're
his
all
order
in on it. They're all in on it.
and agrees that we're going to create one. We're going to strap a little satellite onto one of our rockets, and it's going to be called Vanguard, and that's going to be us showing the world. And then we go and we put ours up, and it starts taking, and then it's like, oh, and it gets destroyed. However, the other thing that started with NASA, and ARPA, which turned into DARPA, was the National Security Education Department. And when you look back in history, what happened is this is when it wasn't just that they took control of schools, but they became more hands-on with what was taught, how it was taught, and that's when they started weaponizing funding as well. Like if you participate in this, we'll give you this equipment and we'll give you this money. And while they were doing that, they were constricting. So because the baby boomers, they were stressing the system, right? And instead of building more schools, the government was just letting it build up to like 30 kids in a class and shit, which then changed the way that teachers had to teach, etc., right? And it branched out into a system that was full-blown indoctrination, which my presentation is that we get out of World War II, right? Eisenhower, the big war hero, right? Truman's president. He creates CIA and all that, right? They need shit to do after the World War II's over. Next thing you know, you go right into, the Cold War, right? Are we going to nuke each other? So they have everybody freaked out about nukes, right? Like they get out of World War II, they think they get a chance to breathe, and immediately they start getting fear porn shoved down their face about nukes. Now you got to duck and cover, and you always got to be scared, and you got to listen to the civil defense people, and listen to Big Daddy. And they just are traumatizing these people over and over. And television, the visual medium, is so brand new that these people don't stand a chance because they don't know what they're up against, right? The average person, especially back then, if it's on TV, it's real. And even with TV shows, people do this where they build this relationship with this fictional character, and it's hard for them to see the actor or actress as anything other than whatever that character is.
Also, so for people who don't think that TV and shit like that desensitizes you, just take something simple. Like, if you saw a car blow up on a show 300 times, right? And you saw it then after that in person, it wouldn't affect you the same. As long as you were at a safe distance, it wouldn't affect you the same. Imagine had you never seen it in a movie and you saw a fucking car blow up. It would be like, holy fucking shit. Like, and that's just a little one. Imagine seeing a dead body, seeing someone shot, seeing a bomb blow up a fucking building, seeing any of that. Like, it definitely desensitizes you to see something over and over and over again. It's proven. So don't try to argue it.
And it introduces you to new concepts, right?
Yes.
So I'll give you an example. Let's take it back to like I Love Lucy, okay? Lucy and Desi Arnaz were the first couple to take their beds that were apart on television and push them together, okay? And because Americans, husband and wives, slept in separate beds. They slept in separate singles. Now, when the world saw that Desi and Lucy pushed their beds together, what do you think happened?
Everybody pushed their beds together.
Or they got bigger beds and stayed in the same bed.
Monkey sees, monkey do. And then, now you don't need a twin. Why don't you go over to this queen? And, so you see the behavior start to change, right? You see people try to imitate the shows like Leave It to Beaver and I Dream of Jeannie and put on this persona to their friends and to people because this is now what they're seeing. And that's their exposure of what's supposed to be reality, right? And everybody wants to fit in. So you just follow the cues that you're fed on TV. And the all-knowing, all-wise TV wouldn't lie, right? Especially, the all-knowing news source.
Keeping up with the Joneses. That's exactly what it all is. Seeing what, and of course they had to make it a black name. But
the American dream.
Yeah.
And everybody wants to socialize, right? Everybody wants to belong. And that's why shows like Johnny Carson were so important because that took a point in the evening, in the day, where you could collectively communicate to the whole, right? And people would talk about that the next day at work, around the water coolers, whatever. Did you see that thing on Carson? Blah, blah, blah. Oh, blah, blah, blah. Did you hear about the Kennedy thing on Carson? Yeah, that Oswald, and it was a way to mass hypnose people, just like Oprah and all that shit.
Dude, that's why I think it's crazy when people talk about how, like, oh, new shows are reaching way more people. Well, like, yes, there are way more people now. If you look at how many people those shows were reaching back then compared to how many people there were and how many televisions there were, they were reaching almost every household.
Yes.
Almost every fucking household. Way more than a night show now. Like, they maybe have more viewers, but you're not reaching the highest or as high of a percentage of the population.
There was also
having
less,
as large of an effect.
There were also less on television, less options.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. You watch one thing, now there's 5 of them.
Right, and the programming was like designed to go to a certain time and then stop, and everybody would watch their little American flag to the Star Spangled Banner.
I remember that when it cut out. They cut that shit out. They're like, no, we'll run this shit all night. We'll run it all fucking night. You want to buy Tupperware? We'll run it all fucking night. Buy it.
Think about this for a minute, right? Like, TV is brand new, right? But everybody's adopting it, right? So now you have a way to propagandize people in their own home in a way that radio
you don't
never
even have
could
to
have done
get
it.
them to go somewhere. You're just
Right.
there.
You're in their home. So they're willingly sitting down and just taking it in. And because the medium's so new, they have no reason to really think there's anything nefarious going on, right? Like
Not
they
even
just
question it.
why would you? It's brand new. You don't know it enough to question it, right?
Yeah.
But there it is. You let the vampire right into the house. And as soon as you do that, you start to create this collectivism, right? And that's how you start getting people, to kind of conform and to dance to the same beat, right? Because now you're the authority telling them what the norm is, what the people think, what the people say. That's why
God,
when the media gives a question, they pose that question in a special way, right? They lead the question, so it begs the question, it begs the answer, right?
You said that the name of our first satellite was Vanguard, right? That was our. That was our. You know what the meaning is?
Yeah, this little thing.
Yeah,
It was in
the leading group in advancing army or the foremost pioneers in any field, movement, or trend. How are we the leading group in the advancing army when we were the second to do it? Oh, because probably that's the plan. We were going to be the ones to lead the way through space. Not Russia, not anybody else. That's what makes me think that this was a giant plan.
well, it
And
was.
also think about the company Vanguard
Oh yeah.
in that definition.
There you go.
And look at this, because now this breaks space open, right? Now you can tell people fantastical shit, right? And you can always blame it on imaginary land. And
Dude.
while this is going on, you have Walt Disney pushing out your propaganda. You got the schools pumping your propaganda for the funding.
Fucking the dome thing they're showing.
Parabolic
Sorry,
right
I
over
was
the
just
castle.
adding sound effects to your
Yeah,
fucking
yeah, it
story,
was
bro.
nice.
I love it.
I understood it, bro. I got it.
So, and think about it, right? So these are kind of like primitive propaganda people, right? Like this shit's all new to them. So think about it. You're coming out of World War II. Things are relatively wholesome. The economy's booming, right? Your loved ones come back. You think it's a happy moment. Next thing you know, like you're getting scared all the time about nukes, right? Now the world is in danger at any time, any place. A nuke can go off. This is new to you. This is the super destructive thing. And they got one. And maybe the world's going to blow up on it, right? And every day they start hitting these people with this. And it's the beginning of this mass compliance, right?
I think they had to up the ante and come up with nukes because they knew where TV was going to lead and that it was going to desensitize people to vigilantes might come out and fucking blah blah blah. Like we see that every day. Like you gotta up that shit. It's gotta be fucking nukes, bro. Hide under your school desk because that's gonna protect you from a fucking nuke. Like my god, it was so dumb.
when it comes to TVs, right? Like TVs were like functioning by the time of the 20s, right? And like in the early 1900s, you had like primitive TVs where you could have the light, going around on the thing, and then you could get your thing.
Yeah.
But it was by about the 20s where you could almost get like a 180p screen and actually have an image, and it's resemble television of today, right? So,
Yeah.
but it wasn't until around 1955, 1956 that television starts becoming popular and it gets adopted really fast in American homes. So by the time you get to like 1957, right, you got about TV in about 60% of the American
Right.
population's home, which
Right.
means now it's a great game of telephone, right? Because we say this, the audience hears it, and then the audience is like, yes, that is the thing. That is the knowledge. We all know this now. We are smart. We're advanced, right? Go us.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right? And these poor people, they're just trying to be patriotic too, right? Because they just came out of this war that they won, and you'd think there was going to be celebration, but now they get like to a point where they're told like at any moment, just your loved ones, your children, it can all just be gone, right?
They can't
Like,
let them have
imagine-
too much happiness, bro. Like you can't
Yeah.
have too much happiness. You gotta rip that
Right,
shit
because
away.
then they're gonna stop.
Imagine-
They're gonna stop paying in to the piggy. You gotta
Well,
come up with a
imagine
new idea.
what it must be like for the first time ever to always be scared that fucking things, you know what I mean? Like that puts you on edge. That's constant stress. Well, what do you want out of that? You want relief, right? You just want to be able to relax. So if they tell you, "Hey, we're going to start doing this. Hey, we're going to start doing that. But this is for the good of this," right? And you're like, "Okay, yeah." And then you comply. And then they give you a little bit of relief. And then when they need to go a little bit further and they need you to release and relax, you know, your liberties, you know, they hit the gas again. And like, so this is a perfect time with NASA and DARPA and ARPA, where now they get to start funding all this money because they were really frugal before that, right? I could show you clips where Eisenhower, the military spent like some money to buy 2 helicopters, right, for the president. 2 helicopters, and not even like special helicopters, like fucking the little ones that you see, right?
One I could pick up at the fucking corner store, you know? Fucking little helicopter.
The press is eating Eisenhower alive over this, over that expenditure.
Oh,
right?
God. And now look.
Right? So
What's
now
going on
imagine
behind the
they're
scenes?
now they're getting $60 million just at NASA alone a day, right? So they already got this budget. And if that's fucking imaginary land, we get to throw that into all of our other CIA projects, because don't forget, Truman just created the CIA. And if we need a source, what better place than fucking space to conjure up money to get yourself going, right?
Dude, one of the things you said was one of the things that pushed me over the edge, was that it's like everything that they said proved space. I couldn't test myself. You have to look out there. They had to create astrophysics because physics no longer applies. That statement right there blew me out of the fucking water when it comes to flat Earth, because none of the physics apply in space. You have to disregard every single thing you can factually prove here on Earth in order to believe the things that are going on in space, i.e. the fucking ball of gas burning in a vacuum, orbits, so the gravity holds you to the ground, but it also holds the moon in the sky. Like, these are absolutely absurd things that you have to believe in the fucking space globe model. And that, to me, is what fucking put me over the edge, is that nothing they say can be proven with me and you going outside and saying, okay, let's prove this. But on the other side, everything Flat Earth says, if you got the money to buy a great camera and a laser or whatever, you could fucking prove. So tell me who has the better fucking argument, man.
Well, they got a lot of
there's
money.
reflectors on the fucking moon. We can bounce a laser off them and we can prove it. Okay, prove that. Well, you go to this place and they tell you and they type it in this computer and they say, okay, here goes the laser. Beep. Okay, look, it came back. That's it. You can't do that yourself. When motherfuckers say, I can shine a laser at the moon, do it. Post a fucking video of you shining a laser at the moon, hitting that reflector, and it bouncing back and giving you yourself data. Don't tell me about some college that you can go to where they'll do it for you, because that's bullshit. Just like astrophysics. Sorry, I get very upset about this shit, man.
No, it's good.
It bothers me.
270,000 miles or whatever the hell it is away. Yes, shoot that laser for me. Let's see it happen.
It's ridiculous.
And you know what's funny? They're not lying. Okay, it's either they're lying or they're fucking retarded, right? Like, can we just say that? Like,
I go back and forth. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like either they just have no idea, so it's a bunch of guesses, and that's what our education system's been based on, is just educated guesses, or they're fucking lying.
Well, it's definitely both. So the people at the top know for sure and are lying. Maybe there's some like professors that really believe it because they're looking at this data, right, but like even that, if you're actually intelligent, do you at no point, maybe that's why I wasn't liked in school. I did great. I got decent grades, but like there was always this stigma around me with all the teachers, like, oh, it's him, blah, blah, blah. Because, like, I question shit. So, like, if you're really that intelligent, even if you went through all that schooling, don't you go, but wait a minute. Pressure doesn't exist without a container. How did this happen? And they just go gravity.
Because
gravity.
common sense
That's it.
is out the fucking window.
Well,
It's out
think,
the window.
think about
That's what I mean.
how-
There's no one who got through. Nobody who got through that and was like, this is bullshit. Well, I mean, I guess you have people like not in astrophysics, but in medicine, like Dr. Cowan, who we had on, like people who go through it and then say, no, this doesn't make sense. But I'd like to see some astrophysicists go. Even Michio Kaku says, in any other science, like if you're off by this much, we say it's garbage. But in astrophysics, it's okay, basically.
But it goes right back to what you were saying. There's no way to verify it, dude.
Right.
When it comes to space.
Yeah.
So it's all just like, you know what I mean? Trust me, bro. That's really what it comes down to.
Yeah,
You know?
think about it. It's amazing. It's brilliant.
Such a good grift.
Created a
Yes.
Yes. They indoctrinate you, and then they use that, since it's above, as the like superior force to kind of dominate all the other topics. So it gives them like superior control, and you never get to test it because you don't get to go into a rocket ship or whatever, right? You never get to go high enough. You just get to trust the experts.
Yeah.
And if you say anything, you get the weird eye.
You know what it reminds me of is the spiritualist movement back in the day, where there was like the one person who could talk to the dead, and you just had to believe them that what they were saying was true. It's like they're the only ones who have the contact, so give them money and they'll tell you you're not going to hear it or see it, but you'll get it through them. It's the same bullshit. You can't verify this, but trust us. Because, you know, I know we have .gov at the end, but, you know, we're different. We're space people, you know? We're not like these people.
We're going to show you all the data we've collected and created, and we're going to show you how to navigate it and you know, cross-reference and do all that.
Yeah.
You could be super smart just like us, but you're never, ever going to find anything new, okay, until we find it first. Then we're going to let you know, all
Until
right?
you see Katy Perry open a door.
Yes.
Fucking...
There's a guy I have in my feed somewhere. His name is Matt. I want to say like Matt Ball or something like that. He's a comedian, but he used to be an artist for NASA.
Oh, Powers.
And he used to.
Oh,
There
Matt
you go.
Powers?
Yeah. So, and he talks about how, you know, like Isaac Newton, these guys are from, you know, 1669 or whatever, 1666, right?
Yeah, of course.
And in that time, we've developed physics and all these things, right? And all these theories. And it isn't until like 1911 or whatever till the Wright brothers actually get into a fucking plane, right? And like go, and if a little past that we get higher. So it's like that whole foundation that they built was before anyone could really get up high enough to even tell if there was a curve. So if they got up there and they realized there is no curve, would they say anything? Like, because that would kind of destroy everything you just built up, right? Like that knocks the whole set of dominoes down, and it dramatically changes the structure, right? So,
So what was his name? Picard, something Picard, the first dude who went up in the balloon.
Picard, Augusta Picard.
Augusta Picard, yes. He went up in the balloon and he said, "It seems as a disc with the edges turned up."
Yep.
That was the first person who had no fucking skin in the game, who was just a dude going up in a balloon, and that's what he said. Now, why did he see it turned up?
Right.
Why would it be turned up?
The optical illusion, because if it keeps going, it's going to appear like it's trying to lift to the horizon.
And how would that happen on a ball? Because a ball should be dropping away the further you go.
Because it's so much bigger than you can ever imagine, dude.
But that doesn't.
I know it doesn't make sense. Again, yes, I know.
The Red
Common
Bull
sense should
jump,
tell you,
bro.
yes.
Fucking
I know.
the state of whatever county that was, or the continent of New Mexico when the Red Bull dude jumped. It's like, oh my god, look at the curve! Holy shit, he's so high. Extrapolate out from there of New Mexico with that curve with one lake, and the world would be the size of Florida. maybe South Carolina. I don't know. It's ridiculous, and people just eat this shit up, man. They fucking eat it up, and oh god, it bothers me, and it bothers me that I used to.
They give an explanations for everything, so they're just gonna repeat.
Yeah.
It's the perfect grift. Because the first people they indoctrinate are trying to be patriotic, right? And they don't know any better.
No, I'm sorry. It's my camera. Sorry, my fucking camera.
Hold, bro.
So they don't know any better, and these are all new concepts to them. And so they're trying to be good citizens, plus they just want to fucking stay alive, right? And there's nobody before them who has went through anything like this, so there's nobody to pass on that, hey, these motherfuckers are lying. Hey, you know what I mean? So they believe it wholeheartedly, and their kids start getting taught this stuff and the evolution of it, right? Well, the parents were in it balls deep, right? And they got traumatized into it. They make sure that they traumatize that second generation with the space, not the Cold War. Yeah, with that fear, and and each way down, we all get it to bring that next generation on board, right? And we're just supposed to pass the trauma along. Right? It just so happens that we've gotten to a point now where enough of the people in front of us saw it that people start saying, "Hey, dude, like,
we learned our lessons." Just like you said with the Patriot Act, we learned our lessons from that. Now we have to, put a Patriot Act and invoke that. So
I'm literally again. I'm gonna post this as I'm saying it because I think it's profound. I'm gonna say something profound.
All right.
I think, honestly, and I've thought long and hard about this, the Area 51 is the most successful PSYOP in history.
Yeah.
I really do. I think they faked everything in order to make you think that aliens came from outer space and that there aren't demons. And the best way to fake something is to show a little bit and then spend generations denying it.
Yes.
Because it just fucking builds. It just builds. You don't have to do anything. Drop some mannequins in a cardboard craft and then send military in to fucking sweep it up and don't tell people anything and just you're done. It costs you one night of labor and it goes on for fucking years. Multiple movies, the entire X-Files, everything came from one night that may or may not have been fucking mannequins dropped from a plane. We don't know. We weren't there. We have no clue. There's zero concrete evidence. So I honestly believe Area 51 was the most successful PSYOP ever, and they got cocky after that. And that's why we had a bunch of years of shitty stuff that just didn't make sense. And then they regrouped under Satan. They got together. And them and the dude with the pitchfork in the tail said, we're going to fucking regroup here and do better. And now they've come up with better PSYOPs. But I really do think that. I just think that was all bullshit and everything surrounding it was bullshit. Just to make you believe in space. And I honestly think that they're surprised at how well it worked. I don't think they expected it to work this well. I think they thought it would be another thing like the, what was it? The one in Arizona, the Arizona Lights. Like, it was big, but it was like,
Phoenix Lights.
That's Phoenix Lights. There you go. It was big, but it was like, people talked about it, but I heard about it a couple times. But Area 51, everyone, there's a following of it. There's merchandise, there's diners, there's hotels, there's truck stop. There's everything around Area 51. And the Phoenix Lights are way more impressive to me than whatever a few people saw in the thing. So anyway, I think that's the recipe for fucking proving or spreading something is doing something little and then never talking about it again and pretending you can't.
Why have they never found life on another planet yet? But yet they got aliens coming here, flying around, spacecraft crashing here. Everything is here. Why not anywhere else?
NASA picked up fireworks on distant planet. They must be celebrating their independence also. Like, what the fuck, man? Why does
Think
that
about
never
it though,
happen?
like yeah, like we have yet to find life on another planet, but we're looking every single day. We're looking and we're waiting, and it's like
Because they have to fake it, right? They would then have to fake that life, and then they have to fake the system of that biology, because now there's going to be a lot of questions, right? Is it like ours? What's different? Okay, then how's that function in that way, and what are the extrapolations
well, maybe it was
of
just
whatever else
easier to
is
fake
different?
it here. Is what my point is.
Right.
Maybe it was easier to
Exactly.
fake it here with the military and the stuff that they have here versus out in imaginary land, like you said. 'Cause someone's gonna be like, "Hold on, wait a minute, bro." You know what I mean? Like, well, I'm surprised they didn't try it with the moon when they were there. Cool.
Well, they don't have to spend a lot of money to sell the illusion of imaginary land, right? So they
Right.
give you a couple images,
Right.
right?
Good point.
And then
Good point.
they give you a couple special events, which then just get clipped and used throughout history, right? And then it's just a matter of talking about it, just like Sputnik going across, right? Do you hear the beep?
Yeah.
But when you look at the actuality of it, Sputnik, if it was going over, right, there's all different kinds of issues with like the signal should have bounced off of the ionosphere and shouldn't have hit different places, and the sound of it comes up like sound from the station, like it's from terrestrial sound on the way they're tracking it. So it was really about just putting the sound in people's heads, because the sound made it a reality, and then you bullshitted them that, oh yeah, that's Sputnik right there. So they're hearing some shit, everybody else is believing
Yeah.
it, and they think they're seeing the shit too. So it's just mass hypnosis, right?
Do you
And
want
people would swear to it.
proof? You want 100% undeniable proof that this would work. I forget the dude's name, but I'm sure you guys will know it. The dude who did the first War of the Worlds on the radio.
Orson
And
Welles.
Yes, there you go. I wanted to say Orwell. Orson Welles, Orwell. That's very fucking close. But
Yeah.
so yeah, that people were literally freaking the fuck out because they were reading a script on the fucking radio and they thought aliens were invading. Do
And that
it,
was a
do it,
test.
Templar. Do it. You do it so good.
What's
Do
that?
it. The voice, the fucking old radio announcer voice.
Oh yeah.
He's like, I'm ready.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight. Beware, aliens will be landing. Could they land in your coffee shop, in your backyard? America, this is you.
Now do the racetrack voice.
And he's coming down over to the left, and he's going down here. Blue Bear for the second place, and it's Pony Bear for the third, and he goes, and he's gone.
I fucking
Yeah,
love it.
Mickey.
I love it.
Oh,
But no, yeah. So that's how they've been selling us psyops from the fucking beginning, man. From the beginning, Stonehenge psyop, the pyramid bullshit psyop, all of that. Like it's all to make you like, well, way out of it. It's all to fuck you
think
up.
about
man.
it too. Like, I can imagine that a lot of the black ops stuff that they were working on and these operations and all that
Yes.
shit, like they don't want people questioning it,
Right.
So why
Um,
not?
It's an African American op. Can you please be politically correct, bro? No,
But
I'm
why?
kidding,
Yeah,
man.
but if they see these craft, right? Like, and it's probably ours, okay? But they're like, wait, we deserve to know. We're the taxpayer. We deserve to know what's going on. They can't have secret military actions without the cover story, right?
Right. Yes.
So
Yeah.
you think white cops are out there every day shooting black people because they're racist, but you've never seen a fucking military person shoot at an alien because they're fucking speciesist, right? Come on. Come on. They're always like, I don't know, but well, let's see. Come on. The military would be like, give them everything you got. Fucking hit them with everything. We don't know who this motherfucker is. Think about this. Their immediate reaction would be, this is another country with some crap that we don't know how it's working. And look at them running circles around us. Try to fucking knock it out of the sky. And they're always like, hey, look at this. You see it's going at this many knots. That's crazy. That's not how you would react. I think it's all fake. I think that's all fake. I think all the UFO files are fake. I think it's all fucking bullshit.
Yes. Finally.
So when you look back in the 1940s and 1950s and you watch the old archives, you actually see in the beginning the military was like, there were these UFO sightings, aerial phenomenon, and
Yeah.
The military would acknowledge them, but they wouldn't talk much about it. They'd be kind of coy about it, right?
Yeah.
And the press was always pushing for release, right? And then as you get towards the 60s, the military really just goes the opposite direction and it disavows aliens altogether. But you also see the push in media and culture that this is a thing. So now it looks like they're suppressing it. So now you get people believing
it gets
and
more
pushing it
attention.
that there's aliens, there's
The
aliens.
sightings
So you get
go up. The sightings go up.
It's don't push the red button. That's what it is. When you say don't look at this, don't think about sausage. What the fuck are you going to think about? You're going to think about sausage, man. Come on. Like, that's what they do. Like, no, there's no aliens. Let me fix my tie. Look at my trophies on my shoulders or whatever the fuck they call them, you know? Whatever.
they are masters of perception.
Yes. And when they tell you not to look at something, they know you're going to look at it. It amps it up. It's fucking
You know
insane.
what's wild to me is you remember when Obama was going to cut funding to NASA? Do you remember
Was
that?
he, though?
Yeah, well, that's again, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I know.
And there was an outbreak of people being like,
Yes, they created another patriotic moment, another
Go
Trump got a
fund me.
raise, right? Did they get a raise out of the deal?
Yes, I think they did. They went from like 60 to
Fucking
88
go
million.
figure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Dude, it's so good. Look, like,
Yeah.
17-year-old me would love to believe in aliens. I would love to, man. I think that'd be so cool to believe. And my original thing, I always used to say, come on, you think you're so special in this whole galaxy and this whole universe? We're the only ones that can form life. Clearly, there's other life out there. No, the fuck there isn't, because we're the only place there is. There are not other planets. But back then, I wanted to believe. Dude, I have crazy stories of aliens and shit. I don't know what it was, but crazy shit. I have zero doubt that some people are seeing shit out there. Look at fucking Damn Blue. Holy shit. Adam Bueller, that motherfucker, filmed shit that I've never seen in my life. And I trust that he's literally filming it outside his house because he sent me videos before he started posting this shit. I know, Templar, it keeps popping up.
Oh,
It's
no,
weird,
no.
right?
I close it down. I don't need it for the time being.
No, I
Let's see
know,
what
but
I'm
it keeps popping up for me. Like, it keeps appearing on the screen for some reason.
Wants
Anyway,
to be a guest.
so yes, there's tons of people that are seeing stuff in the skies. I'm not belittling the people. There is stuff happening in the skies. I'm just telling you, it's not aliens from another planet. No. It's either government shit or it's Nephilim shit. One or the other, in underneath that category somewhere. It's not aliens from another planet.
Right, because they can sell you anything out there. That's why I call it imaginary land, because everything is out there. You can't test it. You can't challenge it. You know, you can't push back on it. And they're the masters of that domain, right? Like, how do you argue against them? If the head of NASA comes and debates you on something, and he's like, that's the way it is, what do you think the majority of the population is going to say against your pushback? You know what I mean? Like, they're going to be like, oh, that's the head of NASA. Of course he knows. You know, you just assume. And of course he's going to be noble and honest about it, you know, because most people are good-natured. Most people want to believe, and then most people want to be fooled regardless. You know, like when people know something's bad is going on, a lot of people, the first thing they want to do is stick their head in the sand.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, I don't want to hear that.
Dude, I was going to say,
my
what
grandmother
difference
used
does
to
it
say
make?
that shit.
What difference does it make what shape it is? That one's like my favorite. I'm like, what difference does it make?
Yeah. So let me ask you this.
Told you.
So say that aliens did come here from another planet, and let's get past the fact that they traveled throughout the universe and then crash landed in New Mexico.
Here.
Like, that's insane. Why has there never been a story written from that perspective? Why has no one ever written a story from the aliens' perspective of crash landing in New Mexico in fucking holy shit,
Roswell?
Area 51. Roswell, yes. Why has no one done that? Because, I'll tell you why. Because it would seem so fucking ridiculous. You would have to write the most absurd. The only way you could pull it off is if they were on their way to the Earth to warn us of something, and an alien race that didn't want them to, shot them down, and they fell, and blah, blah. Like, even that, they don't want to touch on it. Spielberg could run all over this. You could make bazillions of dollars with this. Why is there no story? Because they don't want you to actually focus on it. That's why they were so fucking far away from, what was that one movie? The one with the fire in the sky, that dude. That's why they didn't want you to pay attention to that movie. I don't know what the fuck that was, but something happened to those dudes because I've watched the real interviews with those motherfuckers. Something happened to them.
And they did pass.
But who knows what it was? Could have been government tests. It could have been this. It could have been that. It's just they like to take weird things that they do and use aliens to cover them. That's what I think.
Because it gives them plausible deniability. That's what it's all about. And then, like the systems that they put in place, while NASA's blooming and all that, and the populace thinks like, yay, we're winning with science. In the background, they're building and start running off with the military-industrial complex, or what comes to be. And it is the launch at that point back there of what now becomes the technonancy, like this.
Yes.
This is them introducing television and radio and starting pulling you into the digital world.
Dude,
right?
Look at the flock cameras while Elon's going, we're gonna make it, we're gonna colonize Mars, I'm gonna keep shooting these rockets and skipping across the fucking firmament. And
look up there.
All while I'm doing that, we're gonna be putting these flock cameras in that
Dude, they came out of nowhere. And all of a sudden they're everywhere. It was at first it was like, oh look, England, that's good, England, good for you. And then all of a sudden people are like, they're fucking everywhere here. It's like, what? I saw one. I saw the first one when we went up to Vero Beach on my way out on a country back road, and there was a flock camera. I assume because it was a black pole with the camera, with the solar panel, all that. It looked just like all the ones I've seen cut down. I'm sure it was a flock camera in the middle of fucking nowhere. But in Florida anyway, every intersection, I-95 has... When you leave one camera, another camera is picking you up on both I-95 and the Turnpike. You're already
like every
seen
mile
everywhere.
Or something apart.
Yeah,
or
and they can see far as fuck.
There's a camera, and then there's one midway to the next point.
If they spent half the money in what they've spent putting cameras that point towards us, away from us,
yeah.
Don't you think we'd be a little bit better off right now? Like, where's that shot of space? You know what I mean? I just want to see Antarctica. I just want to see Antarctica underneath.
Your license plate is angled at slightly upwards for a reason on your rear. Like if you notice, it's not flat. A lot of things have it slightly up.
There's that spacer at the bottom, so the drones can see you.
Yeah, and the SATA balloon surveillance. Like when they look down. Because that's what they do. They watch a big chunk with the super high res camera, and then when they need to look back, okay, like such and such happened over here. Okay, turn back the tape. Okay, now zoom in because it's crazy resolution. Okay, and you just play it back. Where'd the car come from?
The second you get on I-75 in Florida, it says highway patrolled by aircraft, and it shows a little picture of a plane. It's not a fucking plane. How's a plane gonna clock you and your speed when it's moving at a certain speed? Like I know you can do. I'm moving at this speed.
The line things, but they put the markers on the road.
Come the fuck on, man. It's like I know it's not. You're not flying a plane anymore. You're flying fucking drones up there. That's what you're doing. It's absolutely insane. God.
And of course they would, right? Because if you put a drone high enough up. Right? One, you get to monitor everything real easy. And if there's an issue right over here, okay, we'll activate zone 215, and that thing's all like, yep, there it is. Zoom. And you almost got instant eyes on it. So almost instant access to information on the surveillance. Plus everything else around there, all the different flock cameras and fucking Amazon cameras and all that are all triangulating it and picking up the noise and shit and feeding all that back to a central command center, which is then dispatching that out to, the intelligence or to the police, etc.
Have you seen that video? I posted it, but it's gone around a lot of the new NYPD, not new anymore. It's probably a few years old. of their AI camera system that literally, like, say you see someone on one camera, you can flag that person, and no matter where they go in the city, AI will switch to the next camera that can follow them, the next camera that can follow them, anywhere that they can go. And this was shown in a show back before I was awake. Have you ever seen that show Blacklist?
Yes.
Nah, I have not, but I know what it is.
That show tells you everything that they're doing. They don't call them the deep state. I forget what they call them, but
The cabal.
The cabal. They literally call them the cabal. They tell you everything these motherfuckers are doing. And then there's another show called Person of Interest that shows you, yeah, that's a good ass show, dude. That shows you how technology is used to follow and do everything, to know everything you do. Like, oh, well, we can't find them on cameras. There's this workaround. Like, let's go to people's cell phone cameras, like that they have. Like, what the fuck? But it's real. It's all real. They're showing you. They're telling you all the time.
Well,
fuck them.
You know, everybody's wondering, like, why do we have so many data centers? Like, what can
surveillance? It has to be.
Well, it is, but it's the grid. They're building out the grid for 6G, and I don't know if you guys know what 6G is, but 6G is a ubiquitous. It's everywhere at all times, right? It's saturated signal, and the signal itself can monitor in 3D. So just the signal out coming towards you can 3D map you almost to perfect accuracy
sounds
in
healthy.
your house. And the environment, and the
It's
AI
just like how they can
built
use your
into the
Wi-Fi now
Yeah.
to map the inside of your house. Now they can do it everywhere.
Yes, and then what they've been
Holy
doing. So
shit.
your routers and all these things, they also have these reflective surfaces. So when the 6G wave hits it, it bounces it to a certain way, so it maximizes it. On top of that, so they get full saturation, because basically everything's going to be a repeater. 6G is short. It's a short wave. That's why you need a lot of these towers all built around here and shit
Well,
like that.
Yeah,
Right? They gotta
dude,
be
but
easy
I'll
with them
have
to
internet
manipulate.
everywhere, so I have nothing to
Yeah.
hide. What do I
that's the
care,
thing.
bro? Like,
The speed of everything is going to be like that. but
instantaneous. Yep.
the AI is not an external AI that's running the system. The AI is actually built into the wave function itself.
Holy
and the
shit.
AI is determining how much electricity to allow on this grid, managing the traffic control systems, all of it in real time, plus surveillance. In 3D, it knows where everything is, exactly what's happening
damn.
in real time, right? And check this out. The only way to get away from that is the water. And what do you think China just started building, like fucking down in the water? A huge base, because people are going to have to get away from the signals. They're going to have to go into mountains.
Those are the
and
only
they're gonna have
clean
to go
rooms
underwater.
ever anymore. Underwater. Dude.
Right.
That's going to be the next thing. Fucking a cascading water around your house. I forgot about Allie's actually told me about that. That water is the one thing that blocks all signals.
How
Water
many times?
water is of God in some way because it's everything that's alive needs water. It blocks all fucking signals. It holds memory. You can store literally data in water. You can put a flower in water and then freeze the water, and the image of that flower will show up. That is mind-blowing to me. That shows me there's so many things we don't understand that just fucking excite me. They excite me
Plus, that
because
would
that
require
means
you
there's
to look
still
in.
stuff. Yes. Oh, you can't do that. And we're made up of a ton of water, and we know water affects, or thoughts affect water, which that Japanese scientist proved. I always forget his name. Feel terrible about it. But, you know, you put a label on water and people just, they don't even say it. They just think it when they look at that. Oh,
I did that experiment
think it
with
when
my
they look at
daughter. I have the
So
footage of that,
fucking
and it molded. It is verifiable.
with the rice? You did
Yeah,
it with the rice? Yes.
I did it with the rice and talking shit to the rice on one of them, and then loving the other rice. And I would give them like 2 minutes at a time each of the thing, and I did it like twice a day, you know. And that one just got like scorn and hate, and that one got love, and there was another one that I
Did
just
you say like
I
your
didn't do
mama
anything
jokes
to.
at it? Like,
No, I
yo,
was
mama's
just
so fat. No.
Just like, you're useless, you don't deserve to exist, you're rotten,
Yeah.
there's nothing
I don't even
about
know why
you.
I'm looking at you. Yeah.
Yeah. Just all the things that would be extremely negative to be on something, right? Overall. And then I did the opposite to the other one, but it worked for me.
That's awesome.
It
Dude,
molded
I
past
bought the
chips, I
rice
think, in
and
2
the
days.
3 containers like a year and a half ago, and I still haven't done it. They're literally sitting in my fucking cupboard, and I haven't done it. I need to do it. I need to get on it.
Yeah. And record it. It's great content because people get to follow along through the days. And so they get the impact of like, oh, look, yeah.
I'll say a bunch of
one's
slurs
moving.
at it. Look at you
Yeah.
fucking goyim rice.
Dude,
Look at you.
You got me with the 6G thing, bro. You got me shook. Yeah, and it's
Yeah,
wild
and-
because I'm thinking now, like, look at all the shit we just went through with the vax and all that, and everybody's like, "Woo, man, we avoided
Thank
it.
God we made
were
it through it."
Right, they were so close at getting us. Like that was all bullshit. That
Right.
was all a distraction. The real deal,
Well, they built out. Yep.
right? The real deal.
Son of a cock.
Yeah, we never
God
had to
damn.
take the chip. How many times have I said that? Ted? We never had to take the chip, bro. It was.
Yeah, you've said it the whole time.
They were just building it around us. We are in it. We will be in the chip. Period.
Dude, what the crazy thought I had today because I did that weird fucking thing, the weird post. What if the mark of the beast is circumcision?
Well, I'm fucked.
We're all fucked, bro.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
all
no,
fucked
because
up.
it says that you have to. It's something that you have to willingly take. You have to
Oh,
willingly
that's
accept
true.
it.
And my parents fucked
so
me
there
on
has
that
to be a
one.
choice. There has to be a choice on it. So
Thank
it's not
God. You
easy.
just saved me from nightmares, Templar. Thank you. I was fucking happy. What did I do it? My penis is all fucked up now. I signed up for the beast.
flop it over the shoulder and walk away.
I don't think we're going to be able to stay in 5G willingly. So 6G sounds about right to me.
Yeah, there's like 9 companies that are actually the innovators, that are building it out, and so they're the ones who are dumping the primary stuff. But that's where the infrastructure is coming, and then we're all going to get linked into it, and then it'll just be kind of a like that's when you're going to see what was that patent where like you move and that's how you earn your crypto shit. So the more you work,
Fuck, that's
your
right.
body is going to
The
give you
kinetic
thing,
energy fucking thing.
and the signal is
Yes.
going to pick it up.
My
That's where we're
God,
going.
Yes.
But
like a fucking pedometer on your hip, like it's keeping track
Like
of your
that
fucking
movie
shit.
In Time, right? In Time when they had the fucking
Oh,
clock
dude, that
in the
that movie, that fucking movie. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh,
I've tried to come up with ways to post talking about that movie, but I can't because it would be so long to explain all the ways that fucking movie, and of course they put that faggot Justin Timberlake in it to like throw you off. Like, oh, I'm not watching a Justin Timberlake movie. What the hell? I'm a man. And they drop so much fucking truth in that. It's insane, man. It's crazy because you take away the time thing and you just turn it into a class system where you're not allowed to this thing. And that's where they're going to make the 15-minute cities where, oh, your bank account's not big enough for you to cross over. They already have it with gated communities. That's just a fucking small way. But it's going to happen. And that's exactly how they did it. And once you run out of time, you're fucking done because now you're useless. It's so I don't promote Hollywood a lot, but if you have not seen that movie with Justin Timberlake, In Time or whatever the fuck it's called,
that's in time.
watch it.
but you
Watch
can't-
it.
You can't.
It's
You can't deny that Hollywood is an extension
Mm-hmm.
of the government. It's these are all.
Yeah.
It goes back to what he was saying: getting the televisions in every house, doing all this shit. This was all planned.
Yep.
All of
With
it was
the sto-
planned.
It's intentional
Right.
storytelling, and
So
it's the
Hollywood
perfect-
is there to reiterate everything.
the
that
tell live vision right there
we, like,
in your home. The
It's wild, man.
programming, you channel what they're giving you.
and that's
All
why,
of it.
That's why
So
flat Earth is so
obvious.
important, man. It really
Yeah,
is.
back
Like,
to flat Earth, bro. Well,
no,
it's a
it
great
just-
segue, but it really is.
It
It
is
really is.
because once you wake up to that, then it's so much easier to accept the giant lie. Because everybody's
Yeah.
always like, "Why would they lie? They can't pull a lie like that off." Blah, 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 blah. They are always saying that because they can't imagine that even
Yeah.
being the case. But once you
Which-
wake up to that, it's like, holy fuck, they can do it. They can pull it off. They
They
did
did.
pull it off.
Yep. which is again why I love this show so much, like why I feel so bonded to it. What was it? 2, 3 years ago, I just cracked into even being exposed to flat Earth, right? Like, and it changed thinking and it kind of opened insights to me. And I remember what I felt like back then or how I viewed the world. And I
Yep.
see it so differently now. And, like I've learned that the people on this side are actually the ones who can actually know the information instead of just shit talking the others. So I don't know.
Yeah.
That's why I like this show. And that's why I feel indebted to like Rufus and Death and you. You know what I mean? I just love the shit out of you guys because you gave a solid opening of my eyes and allowed me to
awesome, man.
question
Thank
some shit.
So 2 things. One, first, let me say with Rufus. So a lot of people don't know this, and I'm not going to say all the details, but I'll say some of them. Rufus left because of some shit in his life. Death left because his wife got ill and he had to take care of her. Then I was there. Then Bill had to leave because of shit in his life. And I was like, you gotta admit at that point, when you have 3 co-hosts and all 3 of them leave, you're almost ready to give up. And I was on the fence. I was like, I don't know. And Templar contacted me. And that was the turning point in all of this, literally. I have never even told you this, Templar. I've never said this to you. But that was the turning point because I was literally deciding if I should keep going or not. And I don't even know if it was your plan. I don't know what you were thinking. I don't know if it had anything to do with the fact that you even knew they were gone. I don't know. But you were like, man, I really believe in what you're doing. And anytime you need me, I'll be there. Basically, the long and short of it. That's what it came down to. And there was more details in there of why you believed in us and what we were doing. And I was like, man, I'm going to keep going because if he does, there has to be other people who do also. And like that gave me the push that I needed, amongst other things you did. But that was the biggest thing of telling me at that point that what we were doing still mattered. Because I needed to hear that because I didn't know if it did at that point. And you came in and told me that. And that was a big fucking thing for me. And I will never, ever forget that. That was huge. And then
Thank you,
besides that, one other thing was, funny story. When I met Templar, he messaged me out of nowhere, I feel like. I mean, we had commented back and forth, I think. But he messaged me and was like, hey, you want to come on my podcast? And I was like, yes, let's do it. Blah, blah, blah. I'm all about it. I told them, blah, blah, blah. I completely forgot to put it in our calendar. And then he messaged me that day and it was like, hey, are we good for tonight? And I was like, oh my God, dude, I totally forgot. Like that's literally still the one time I've ever done that. And I was like, I
never
feel
happened.
so bad. Like I talked to my wife that night. I was like, I feel so bad about this. Like he's such a good dude and I feel so terrible. And you were so cool about it. And you're like, yeah, man, it's totally cool. We'll just do it another time. Because if it was me, I would have just done it that night. But like to get 3 other people also without them even knowing that a podcast was gonna it was never gonna happen. So thank you for being so cool about it, and then also thank you for being so cool about everything after that, man.
Right on,
It
man.
was just, I'm happy I know you and I appreciate what you did, and I don't know why you did it, if it was just a coincidence or what, but it doesn't even
No,
matter.
because I'll tell you, I know exactly what you're talking about. I was at work, right? And, like, obviously, huge fan of the thing. I didn't know anyone had, like, took off. I just, like, I was sitting at my desk, and I was just thinking, I don't know if it was about the show or something from a previous night or whatever, but I swear to God, it was like God was talking to me, and it was just like it was about you. And that's why I had the message out to you, because I just felt compelled. Like, I knew it was in my spirit, like, it was like, boom. And then it was meant to be because, like, you were right there. You were like, dude, this is like,
It hit
I'm
me
wondering here. And it's like, yeah, then it was right. It came, like, yeah, dude.
That amazes me. It hit me at the perfect moment. And normally I'm all like, I don't give a fuck what other people think. I'm going to do what I want to do. But like when people you're riding with start dropping off, you're like, maybe I'm not doing something right. Like maybe like I don't know. And then like you said that and I was like, okay, like if this dude who's basically a total stranger is telling me and has nothing to gain, more to lose, he must be telling me the truth. So I'm going to keep going. And it gave me a second wind. And then after that is when I hooked up with Vince and we did everything. But that is what it is. But it gave me that second win. So I appreciate you. I liked you before that, but that was just like, I appreciate you for that, man. And I will never forget that.
It was a spiritual attack on
Yeah.
numerous fronts going on. And
It
what
was.
happening was very similar. You know what I mean? Like Rufus
Yeah.
and I have very similar
Dude,
things
that's
happen to us.
honestly
Like-
why, like, I mean, besides the fact that I don't want to air anybody's shit, like,
Right.
how am I literally going to tell people that the same exact thing happened? Like,
It was
how
wild,
how
dude.
does
It was
that even
all
sound-
directed at family, busting it up. Like, and I'm not gonna get into any more. of
even
that,
with
but
death, even though it wasn't the same
Right.
thing, it was, I have to pull away because family stuff is happening.
Yeah, and it was
You know, there's-
all relatively at the same time.
Yeah.
That's the
Within a
wild
couple
thing.
months,
Yeah, everything just started crumbling.
everything.
It was
Well, you guys know
wild.
the old saying, right? When you're doing your best, when you're at your peak, that's when the devil comes knocking on your door, right?
Yeah.
That's when he wants to come fuck your shit up. And that's the best test, right? Because it's a matter of, are you flying that high through hubris? Are you flying that high because you have maturity and wisdom and you can distinguish things properly? You know what I mean? And that makes all the difference on if you get knocked off course or not.
Yep. In my heart of hearts, I knew Bill would be back, and that's why I could keep going, because that was the like, I love Death and Rufus. There is no bad feelings there at all. I wish the best for both of them. I would have a fucking beer and dinner with them right now. There's nothing negative. Just but Bill's been my friend since I was 15 years old. So I knew he would be back eventually. So once I had that second wind you gave me to hold on, I was like, okay, I'm going to ride this out until he's back. And I did. And here we are, and we're doing better now than ever before. So I'm very glad I did. But I don't know if that would have happened. I can't say for sure because I don't live in that reality.
Right.
But at that moment, I can tell you that I was doubting shit tremendously. And after that random text from you that I wasn't expecting, I was no longer doubting shit. And my whole entire mentality turned around from one text message from you. So you never know. Everybody listening, you never know. If you're sitting back saying, well, I don't know, maybe they'll think it's weird. No, they won't. Message that person. Do that thing, because you never know the impact it will have. Go ahead,
Can I
Tim
share a
Glass, say
quick
it.
story?
Yes, absolutely.
So my life has had a lot of chaos in it recently, right? Like a lot of things. Stuff with my daughter, stuff with my mom, stuff with other family members, and then like trying to seek employment, right? It's just
Not
like
to mention what's going on in your neighborhood with multiple
Right.
yes, police
Right.
SWAT teams coming in. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
so it's like a python trying to constrict you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just slowly throws a little bit more chaos, trying to see, like will you break? Will you break? And I could feel myself getting overwhelmed, and I could recognize everything for what it was. So I could see it like coming,
Yep.
And like yesterday, it was yesterday, literally in my hallway as I was coming, like I was just like moved for a second. I just got to my knees right there, like down on my hands and knees on the floor, and pretty much cried and said, God, like, I'll do what you want me to do. I'm in this. I'll take whatever the burden is, but I could really use some help right now. I need a job yesterday, but whatever you see fit, man, just, I just need a little help, And this morning, I'm sending off my resume and stuff, and I go and I look and I have this missed call, and it's a friend of mine who hasn't called in a long time. They call me, and he's like, hey, man, I'm really going through some shit right now, and I could really use some insight on a job. right? And right in the moment, I was like, I saw two things there. One is, it could be a short thing. Sorry, man, I don't have a job or whatever. Or two, I could see that this person was, one, looking for a job, but two, they were also reaching out. They were hurting, right? And they were looking to see, like, hey, will you hear me or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And so my response was, dude, I feel you. I said, I got a lot of things going on too. And I said, and I'm looking for a job like yesterday. I said, I totally empathize. What's going on? And I let him just talk and get it out. You know what I mean? And there was a certain tone that was in his phone call at the beginning, right? Which I picked up on. And by the time we left, it wasn't completely gone, but it had softened significantly. Like, I could tell that there was a certain amount of comfort that he got out, just being able to articulate the way he was feeling on things without being judged, without, someone jumping in, just to be able to be like, and someone to be like, no, dude, I can relate to that. You're not crazy. You're not a bad person. I get it, and so through that, he told me about a place that was hiring, right? He's like, well, somebody told me to go apply at this place, but I'm not looking to do this, but when I go there, I'll check and see and I'll let you know. Well, a bunch of hours went by and I knew the place he was talking about. Mm-hmm. So I look up on the internet, I get the number and I call the number and the owner picks it up. And I'm just like, blah, 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 are you hiring? And he's like, well, yeah, got a bunch of positions open. I spit a little bit of what I do. And he's like, hey, I'm going to send you a link. As soon as you fill that out, text me, tell me that you did it, and I'll get back to you. So I send him my resume and fill out his application. It wasn't even 30 minutes, and he's calling me for an interview for Friday.
Yeah.
Okay?
Man.
Now, this came through there. So do you see that? To me, that's what the story is. I broke down. I asked for it. I humbled myself. And
not only did he answer your prayers, but you did like you said you were going to do, and he used you to talk to that guy. Okay?
Yes.
And
it wasn't me doing it. It was that. Yeah, that's the system. It's through me, but it wasn't from me. It wasn't about me. It was just like it was like you could feel, the empathy, what was understood. Like you were talking to his soul too. I just had to be receptive and not be greedy or self-absorbed and be okay to share, because that would also require me to be a certain amount of vulnerable, right? So I had to show the same respect.
Beautiful.
And I want to wrap up on this. So I'm not one to tell you Bible and verse. I'm not one to tell you everything in the Bible is real. I'm not here to defend it. And if you want to yell at me and say it's been translated and this and that, you can do that all day. I don't have a problem with that. I'm not that guy. The guy I am is who has seen me and other people I know ask God for something. And even though it doesn't always come in the way that you think, it happens. And it tends to work out if you fucking ask and you admit that you're not able to do it yourself. Things happen. And that changed my whole life. Everything changed my whole life. The finding out, and what brought me to that was finding out, to bring it all in full circle, finding out that the earth is flat and finding out that this is created for us. And then there must be a creator, or I would never try to talk to a creator if I didn't believe there was one. If it was just like, my parents taught me to read the Bible, and I wouldn't get down with that. But when you see my creation, you can no longer deny me. And I go out and I'm like, you're right, man. How do trees exist? How do animals exist? How do we breathe in oxygen and put out carbon dioxide, and trees bring in carbon dioxide and put out, how this isn't from an explosion. Something made this. And then you go, okay, creator, let's do this. In whatever way you ask, it's let's do this. I know you exist. Let's figure this out. And it changed I'm a happier person now. Yes, I have problems in my life. Everybody does. But I wake up in the morning and the first thing I do isn't anymore. It's no longer a sigh of, oh my God, like, I have to do this. Like, yes, I bust my ass at work, but I wake up happy to be here because I'm here for a reason. We're all here for a reason. We're existing now for a fucking reason because we wouldn't be here if we weren't. So accept that, maybe. Start there. You're here for a reason. I don't know.
Good shit.
Yeah, man. I gotta work on getting away from that indoctrinated thinking of I'm being punished for what I did. I gotta get out of that. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't believe that.
my
I don't think that.
you
know why I know that's not true? I'll tell you right now, this is going to be awkward, but since I've known you, I've always told myself, like, I wish I could be as good as him. Like, like, other than your drinking phase, like, I know you had that, but, like, you've always been a moral person better than me. And I was the one who had drug problems. I was the one who did all this shit. And you were always there, the hardworking moral compass that I was like, I wish I could be better. So if that's the case, and it is 100% true, why is my life better than yours right now? It's not about decisions you made, things you made that you're being punished for. I don't think that's how it works. I can't prove it to you. I'm not trying to tell you. I don't think you're being punished for anything. I think if anything, it's a test. It has to be a test in some way. And maybe you always relied on someone else too much for your importance, and you need to realize that you have importance in yourself. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I just know that you're not being punished for things you did because I've done things. I lived my life much worse than you did, dude. I lived my life much worse than you did. I promise you that. And I'm as fucking happy as a clam, as they say.
Yeah.
So it's not that. It's not that. It's something else. There's some other lesson to be learned here, or there's something else. I don't know what it is. And I'm not trying to belittle what you're going through, and I know you know that. But there has to be something else here, because it can't be you're being punished for things you did. Because if so, man, I got some bad shit coming up, bro. Some bad
like I said,
shit,
I gotta get out of that. You know what I mean? That
yeah, no,
inside,
you
like,
do.
And I think we all have it, you know, in some sort of way,
Yep.
more than others.
Oh, yeah,
you know what
we
I
do.
mean? Like, and we're gonna take fault in that, you know. But it does help knowing that this was created. We're not an accident.
Right.
You know, it really.
Somebody
does.
cares about us. There's something better behind here. There is a system, and it's not all ran by evil. Maybe here in front of us in the physical, but at the end of the day, dude, like the good is what wins. God is what reigns. You know, like
Agreed.
Yeah.
I thought.
Well, that
Fuck,
went.
man. That went way off course, but way better than I expected. Also, I mean, not better than I expected. I expected
I don't think you
great.
could say off
Like,
course because it's all tied together. It really is.
It really
all
is
tied together. You know?
Yeah, I agree. And also, the Earth is flat. Sun can't
It is.
shine on 99% of the population on one day. If it wasn't, only
Okay.
half the ball.
That's
So,
right. Happy
And
Flat
if you
Earth
have
Day.
questions, they who are listening or watching, if you have questions or maybe things, you know, go to phoneboothpodcast.substack.com, and I can guarantee you one of those, if not many of those episodes, whether it be Phone Booth Podcast or Templar's Mind of Madness or anything,
and look.
anything, the pick, you name it, even the pick is in.
We're even up there right now. Look at our ugly mugs on the screen. I was scratching my nose. I
awesome,
promise
dude.
I wasn't picking. It was a scratch. No, we're up there. Everything's there. Go check it out. I think a Templar actually is dropping something else soon, aren't you?
Yeah.
Am
Yes. I got all the footage for Mud Fossil University. Yeah.
I? Yes.
Yeah.
Oh man, I
love
can't
that
wait. I can't wait, and I think we may speak to him at some point too. We just may. It'd be awesome.
I hope
with
so, man.
With
Dude,
Templar here.
He's got a lot of shit, dude. He's awesome, bro.
Oh, I know.
Like, you guys should.
I can't wait to see all that footage. I can't freaking wait. And also,
Yep.
Do not forget.
Actually, it's going up this week. So just so everybody knows, it is going up this week.
Do it. It's going up this week.
This week.
Today's Wednesday. Wednesday. Yep. Don't forget to go to canambullion.com. Can-Am Bullion. See it drop while we were live. You got to buy it. Put it in your, while it's down. Buy it while it's down, and then it goes up. As soon as Trump's out of office, it's going to skyrocket because he's a faggot. Oh, wait. Sorry. I didn't mean to say that.
That was so random.
Well, you know, I heard some things. Anyway, thank you, everybody. We love you all. Check out phoneboothpodcast.substack.com. Check out Can-Am Bullion. Check out Templar everywhere. Mud Fossil University shit coming out soon on our Substack also, and everywhere he posts shit. Just check him out everywhere. Follow him on X. His links will be underneath this. Check him out. Anything else you want to say before we wrap up, Templar?
I love you guys, dude. Thanks for having me on.
You, brother.
Thanks for hanging out, dude. Good night, everybody. Peace.